Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you. So today is 27th of April and let's get started with the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, in the today's video, we are going to discuss this entire analysis of Hindu newspaper. Also, you can download explainer notes of the session from our Telegram channel. Link for Telegram is given in description box in YouTube. Now, let's get started with this session. Now, first of all, before starting the class, we start with a GS quotation. So today we are going to take quotation from Malala Yousafzai. So Malala Yousafzai says that one child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change an entire world. One child who is curious to learn, one child who is going to be the future generation, one teacher, a guide who can impart moral, ethical, scientific, academic, social understanding, a book, a book which will provide knowledge, and a pen, fine, fine, can change an entire world. So we should focus on all these particular aspects. These are the core indicators of human development. So this is guys all about it. Fine, you can use this particular idea in GS1 social issues, GS paper number 4 ethics, as well as in essay. So that is about it. And now let's get started and let's take the first article that we have from the today's newspaper. By the way, guys, today is Saturday, and on Saturday we don't have a text and context page. Secondly, even in editorial, there is one ground zero report that comes, which actually talks on some issue and it gives the ground report, the stories and accounts of people are told. So that is also not important. Okay, so they because of this thing, articles on Saturdays, they are not that much. Okay, so anyhow, let's get started with this. Fine. So here we have clubbed two articles. One is from editorial section and one this article from page 1. Article reads Supreme Court backs EVM rules out revival of paper ballot. Now, what is this particular issue is all about? Let's see that. But before that, where this article will be important? It will be important in GS paper number 2, issues related to electoral reforms. Issues related to electoral reforms. Now, before going in this article, guys, first of all, we will understand some basic background information. Now, in past, there have been large number of suspicions that have been shown by political party in two respects. Number one is electronic voting machine, EVM, electronic voting machine. It has often been alleged by the political parties that they can be tampered. They can be tampered. Now, because this suspicion was there, what happened? There was VVPAT that was introduced. Fine, VVPAT that was introduced. Now, what is VVPAT? VVPAT stands for Voter Verified Paper Audit Trail. It stands for Voter Verified Paper Audit Trail. Now, what is this VVPAT now? We will understand that. Now, first of all, brief history of usage of EVM, okay, in elections. Now, guys, when we talk about EVM, it was introduced on trial basis in 1982 in the assembly elections in Paravur, Kerala. Fine. And after that, they were further then deployed in assembly elections in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Puducherry, West Bengal in 2001. And then finally in 2004 general elections that happened for the Lok Sabha, EVM were used in 543 constituencies, and since 2004, every general election EVM are being used, electronic voting machines, where there will be the different political parties name, their symbol, and you will just what you will do, you will hit a button. Now, EVMs have said that it has enhanced the ease of conducting elections in India. Ease of conducting elections have been improved by the introduction of EVM. How? Let's understand that also. Number one, many number of times we have seen that there used to be the incidents of booth capturing, where what can happen, where what used to happen, some of the musclemen, they'll capture a booth, and in ballot boxes that were there earlier, where paper ballot was to be put, hundreds and hundreds of hundreds of ballot paper they'll put, and in this particular way they'll try to manipulate elections. And but because of the EVM, that booth capturing can be avoided. Why? Because Very few votes in a minute, around 4 votes in a minute, can be just polled by this EVM. Number two, what happened? It has outruled the invalid paper ballots. That was a very big problem. Now, what is this invalid paper ballots? Now, earlier there used to be a paper ballot. In this paper ballot, there will be different political parties whose symbol will be there, and you have to mark a stamp. Sometime people marked stamp like this, fine, that a stamp which is a stamp which is not properly marked, so this will be an invalid ballot paper. So it will become a dispute between these two candidates, that okay, to whom it belongs. Fine, in tightly contested election, it became a major problem. So basically, all these issues were there. Also, then counting, it used to take a lot of time. There might be a human error that might come in between in the counting process. All these problems, they got resolved by the introduction of the EVM. But being an electronic device, there were the political parties who said that we don't believe that they are the most preferred solution. Then in response, what happened? In response, this VVPAT, voter verified paper audit trail, was brought. Now, what this entire system all about? So this VVPAT machine will be attached with this EVM. You will cast your vote, and then a paper slip will be generated here in this display. On this paper slip, it will be depicted that okay, which political party you have voted. Okay, which party you have voted, you can just see it. Few seconds it will be available there, then it will be dropping internally it will drop. You don't get this paper slip, fine, it drop internally. Now suppose there is a dispute. Suppose there is a dispute. Some party says that okay, EVM has been tempered. Some party says that EVM has been tempered. Then what can be done? So paper slips that are already there in this VVPAT machine, these paper slips can be counted. Physically, they can be counted, and their number and EVM's number should match. If this number is not matching, then basically again elections can be conducted, or it will be proved that yes, really election has got tempered. So this is that how VVPAT has helped. Now guys, understand this thing. In 2019 general elections that were there, previous Lok Sabha elections, 100% in all constituencies, all the EVMs were backed by VVPAT. All EVMs were backed by VVPAT. So this is something that has already happened. This is something that already has happened. Now, one issue that has come. Now guys, understand this particular thing. As of today, we don't match the VVPAT and EVM data. We don't match the VVPAT and EVM data. Let me explain you this particular thing. So basically, as of now what happens, only 5% of EVM VVP counts are randomly verified in any constituency. Okay, so just 5. Now what will happen? EVMs, they are connected with VVPAT. Just 5% of the random EVM VVPAT data will be matched. Okay, so what we are doing, we are actually taking a sample and we are selecting it randomly. This is something which is going on. Now, some petitioners, they have filed a petition in Supreme Court, including ADR, Association of Democratic Reforms. They filed a petition in Supreme Court and said that mandatorily 100% of the VVPAT paper slips should be matched with their respective EVMs. All EVMs should be matched with their VVPAT slips, or VVPAT should be matched with EVM. This is that they want. And in this particular direction, they filed a petition in Supreme Court. In this particular direction, they filed a petition in Supreme Court. Okay. Now Supreme Court, what they has held, Supreme Court has upheld that EVM system will be upheld, and also they have refused to revive the paper ballot. Now they have said that will not go back to the original paper ballot system that is there, will continue with the EVM, and also 100% VVPAT match right now they are not allowing it. Now court, what they have said, and this is a good point to be noted, court says that blind distrust of an institution or a system breeds unwarranted skepticism and impedes the progress. It has been said that now the political parties, fine, they all the time say this particular thing, that elections fairness might be impacted by EVM. Now, to support this particular thing, no evidence has been shown, no data has been shown, and unnecessary skepticism, unnecessary mistrust on any institution or in a democracy might not be good. What it can lead to, so if you create this mistrust against elections, it can reduce citizen participation, citizen confidence in entire election process. And what they might do, just based on this skepticism, they might not vote, and it might impact healthy and robust democracy. Now this is a good logic that has been given. Sir, EVM machine hack. Now understand this thing, that up till now. Now see, first of all, when we talk about EVM machine is a stand-alone machine, just like a calculator. So it has been provided that it's not connected to any external server. So therefore, tampering is not there. Okay, this is something that has been provided. Now, also the courts have refused that now there was one more alternative that was asked. It was said that will you do one thing, paper slip that is generated in this VVPAT. This paper slip should be physically be handed over to elector so that they can confirm leisurely. They can look that okay, to party that we voted, that same party has got the vote. So the party for whom you clicked the button on EVM, the same party's name is written on this paper slip. So ensure this particular thing. Fine, but court has said that no, that might also not be the right thing. Fine, anyhow they can see the party to whom they have voted in the VVPAT machine. Also, it has been provided that only 5% of EVM VVPATs that are randomly verified, it will continue. Now, there is also one more issue that come. So there was the issue of striking down of Rule 49MA of the conduct of election rules. So basically, what this Rule 49MA of conduct of election rules provide, let's understand this. So basically, sometimes what can happen, an elector might say that the vote that I have casted, let's say I casted vote to XYZ party, but he might say that okay, vote did not went to XYZ party, though I remember that I clicked the button on EVM for XYZ party, but the vote did not went to XYZ party, vote went to ABC party. Okay, suppose an elector has this particular doubt. So that particular elector, what they can do? They can file a complaint. They can file a complaint. But if that complaint is wrong, if there is a mismatch, see if that complaint is wrong, then that particular person can be punished. So they wanted that this rule should be removed because it will discourage people. But nothing has happened again in this particular capacity. Also, what has happened? Courts have directed that the uploaded memory of the microcontrollers that are there in EVM, they can be checked and they can be verified if there is any suspicion of tampering. So some election candidate, if they have a suspicion that a EVM got tampered, that they can challenge that thing and their memories, okay, those EVMs will be checked, and application of verification can be sent within 7 days of the declaration of the result. So candidate who came on second or third place, they can, what they can do, they can challenge the EVM machine. Now, when we talk about Supreme Court's earlier view, so Supreme Court in 2013 has upheld that a paper trail, fine, is indispensable in fair and free election. Okay, this is something that has been happened in the past. So this is guys all about it. I hope that you have understood it. Fine. Also, so this is something that has happened. So I hope that you have understood this entire article along with the background. Now we'll be moving to next article. Aid for war. Now this particular article will see with respect to GS paper number 2, international affairs. So guys, recently we have seen that the United States have passed a $95 billion aid to three countries, that is Ukraine, Israel and Taiwan. So $61 billion will be given in aid to Ukraine, $26 billion will be given in aid to Israel, and $8 billion in aid will be given to Taiwan. Now, basically, you see this particular thing, guys, that Ukraine is fighting war with Russia and US is supporting Ukraine. Unlimited support has been given. Similarly, when we talk about Israel, Israel is fighting war with Hamas, and here also US is supporting Israel. And then when we talk about Taiwan, so right now Taiwan and China, there is increasing confrontation that is going in between these two countries. Now when we talk about China, China maintains one China principle. As per this one China principle, China says that Taiwan is not an independent sovereign country. Rather, Taiwan is a part of mainland China. Mainland China. Okay, and they say that one day they will make Taiwan as their own. They'll integrate Taiwan in the mainland China. This is something that they upheld. However, Taiwan does not says. Taiwan says that in fact we are the real China. Okay, so because of this, Taiwan-China confrontations have been increased. Moreover, guys, you see this particular thing that today we know that a semiconductor industry, it happens to be a strategic sector for all the countries. And today, when we talk about advanced semiconductors, 90%, more than 90% of advanced semiconductors, I'm talking about the advanced semiconductors, more than 90% of them are manufactured by Taiwan. So there is a suspicion that China, in order to get the semiconductor supremacy, China, in order to get semiconductor dominance, might invade Taiwan. Okay, so basically, as a part of USA's Indo-Pacific policy, as a part of USA's Indo-Pacific policy, now they are supporting Taiwan. Now, guys, when we talk about Taiwan, understand this particular thing. China has always been very sensitive to Taiwan, and China puts this particular condition that if any country will recognize Taiwan, if any country will recognize Taiwan, then China, they say that we will not have any diplomatic ties with them. Now, when we talk about, guys, India's position till recent times was that we recognized China, but now we are not taking any position that we recognize the Taiwan or not. Now, when we talk about US follows the policy of strategic ambiguity. US follows the policy of strategic ambiguity with respect to Taiwan. Neither they say that okay, Taiwan is the real China, neither they recognize Taiwan, nor they say that okay, Taiwan is not a sovereign country. They maintains a kind of an ambiguous stand, which is called as a strategic ambiguity. But now this is changing. Now US is becoming more and more vocal on Taiwan. Okay, so this is one change that is coming, we can see. Okay, also they have come out with a bill with respect to TikTok. So US says this particular thing that if TikTok does not divest itself of its Chinese investment, then we will ban TikTok in US, as India has already banned TikTok. So these are certain developments that have happened. Now also understand this thing that there was an opposition also in US saying this particular thing that actually we are getting too much involved in global wars right now. We are getting involved in Ukraine, we are actively involved in Israel, now in Taiwan. So it says that it is a threat to isolationist vision of US. Isolationist vision of US. Moreover, many political parties says that right now, given the financial stress that the US economy is facing, it's not wise to spend. But anyhow, that opposition was not able to continue its stand, and finally US Senate has passed this particular bill. So this is, guys, all about that has happened. Fine, I hope you have understood it. And now moving to the next article. And guys, one more thing, guys, that please show your engagements on the video. And I have said it many number of times that without your participation, again it becomes really difficult to sustain this particular initiative. So many number of times that thing. Now, next article that we have, solar study says solar addition available for producing power falling in India. Okay, now this article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 3, environment related issues, climate change and related issues. Now, before going in this article, first of all, guys, some basic background information you need to understand. Some basic background information we need to understand. Number one, when we talk about solar power, when we talk about solar power, India aims to leverage solar power. Not only solar power, we are now betting on the renewable energies, and we are very serious on that. Recently, what happened? India revised its INDCs, intended nationally determined contribution goals, which we have taken under Paris Agreement of 2015. And what has happened? India provides that 500 gigawatt of India's installed electricity will come from renewable energy by 2030. And out of that, solar is going to be a major component. And when we talk about solar power, understand this thing that basically 280 gigawatt of solar power we will try to add by 2030. Right now, how much solar power capacity we have? Right now, India's installed solar power capacity is 81 gigawatt, 81 gigawatt, which is equivalent to 17% of the total installed electricity. Okay, and as our goal is 500 gigawatt by 2030, we will ensure that 280 gigawatt at least come from solar power. Okay, this is something. Now for solar electricity, what you need to do? You need to deploy, you need to deploy solar panels. Now these solar panels, they will absorb incoming solar radiation. But you see what has happened. IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, in their journal, they had said that solar radiation that is available, fine, it is showing an decreasing trend. So less solar insolation is coming. If less solar insolation is coming, it will impact the productivity or the potential of these solar panels. Now it has been said that actually what is happening, there is increasing aerosols. Aerosols are increasing, fine particles from carbon emission, they are increasing. Okay, so as aerosols are increasing, fine particles prevalence in environment is increasing. What is happening? It is reducing the incoming solar radiation. How? Let's understand. Now aerosol are very fine suspended particles in the air. What they do? They absorb sunlight, they deflect sunlight. So as they absorb and deflect sunlight, sunlight that is reaching the surface, it gets reduced, it gets reduced. Moreover, as more aerosols are there, what they now aerosol, they act as a condensation nuclei. They act as condensation nuclei. They provide the base for clouds to condense. And if more aerosols are there, it will lead to formation of denser and denser clouds. And more cloud cover means that they will block sunlight. They'll block sunlight. So as the sunlight is getting blocked to these multiple factors, what is happening? Solar panels, their efficiency is going down. Their efficiency is going down. Okay. So here we have solar photovoltaic, which is the amount of radiation that may be practically available to be to get converted in electricity. Now, so solar photovoltaic potential, it is declining. And now, in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Chennai, Goa, Jodhpur, Kolkata, Mumbai, Nagpur, New Delhi, Pune, Shillong, all the places, solar insolation that is readily available, it has went down. And when we talk about, guys, India's major solar parks, they are located in northwest of the countries, majorly Rajasthan and Gujarat. And here we see that available solar insolation is going down. And you see this particular thing that global solar radiation is anyhow declining, and between 1981 to 2016 there is a decreasing trend in global solar radiation. There is increasing trend, particularly in 1971 to 2000 there is a great dimming that has happened. Up till now, exact causes are not clear that why this incoming solar radiation is decreasing. But yes, our pollution, too much aerosols, too much of particulate matter, they are responsible for this. So that is all about this particular article. Now moving to next article. Supreme Court seeks Election Commission reply on petition for fresh poll if NOTA gets most votes. Again, this article will see with respect to GS paper number 2, issues related to elections, electoral reforms. Fine. Now, let's understand the article, what this particular article says. So basically, guys, you see this thing that what happened in elections when you vote, you will also get an option NOTA. NOTA stands for none of the above. NOTA stands for none of the above. Now, NOTA, none of the above option in EVM, it got started in 2013. But if I tell you that now NOTA means that if you don't like any candidate, what you can do? You can click this particular button, NOTA. However, as of now, this NOTA, fine, let's say in Lok Sabha elections, it does not has any value. Fine. Suppose if maximum votes are for NOTA, then those particular votes will not hold any relevance. Next person will win. Now, what has happened? Supreme Court has now asked the Election Commission to respond to a petition which says that there should be fresh elections when NOTA wins majority of votes. If majority of votes are for NOTA, it means a majority of voters, electors, they are not happy with existing candidates. So if NOTA has majority of votes, then fresh elections should be conducted. And in this particular capacity, it has been directed, the petition directs that Election Commission of India should frame rules that the candidates who are getting less votes than the NOTA should be debarred from even contesting elections for 5 years. Fine, if you are getting less vote than the NOTA, it means that majority of people don't like you. So you should not even be allowed to contest the election. So this is this petition. Now, when we talk about election commission, now when we talk about certain states such as Maharashtra, Haryana, Delhi, Puducherry, what they do, they treat NOTA as a fictional electoral candidate, and it has been provided that if NOTA gets majority of votes, then a mandatory repoll will be conducted. A mandatory repoll will be conducted. So these states have done. Now it is provided that such rules need to be implemented for pan-India level. In Lok Sabha elections and in all the other assembly elections, uniformly we need to ensure that NOTA, if they are getting the maximum votes, then the repoll needs to be conducted. Now let's see what the election commission will say in this particular capacity. But as of now, nothing much has come out of this. So I hope that you understood this particular article. Now, moving on, and let's move to next article. IUCN representative to be an observer in Nilgiri Thar survey. We'll see this article with respect to prelims examination environment ecology as well as GS paper number 3 ecology. Now, this particular article talks about Nilgiri Thar survey. Nilgiri Thar survey. First of all, let's understand about the Nilgiri Thar. So basically, Nilgiri Thar, it has listed as an endangered species by IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. So under IUCN Red List, Nilgiri Thar is listed as an endangered species. Also, it has been added in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Now, species which are added in Schedule 1, they are given the highest protection. They are given highest protection. They cannot be hunted, they cannot be killed. Fine. Now, when we talk about Nilgiri Thar, so Nilgiri Thar, once once it roamed, once its habitat was entire Annamalai region, Annamalai Hills, and Nilgiris. So, entire region of Annamalai Hills and the Nilgiris was the habitat of Nilgiri Thars. But now, Nilgiri Thar population has come down. Today, guys, when we talk about the Nilgiri, the majority of Nilgiri Thars, they are just in Annamalai Tiger Reserve. Just in Annamalai Tiger Reserve. Okay. And their numbers have drastically reduced. So therefore, what has happened? Now Tamil Nadu government, they have decided that they will conduct a synchronized comprehensive survey, fine, of Nilgiri Thar. And here, Tamil Nadu is going to rope WWF, fine, Worldwide Wildlife Fund, then Wildlife Institute of India, and IUCN. IUCN will be the observer in this uh, process. So three organizations, that is WWF, WII, Wildlife Institute of India, and IUCN, they are going to survey, they are going to carry a joint survey with respect to the status of Nilgiri Thar and conservation exercises that are needed, that is needed to sustain Nilgiri Thar. So this is all that has happened in this particular capacity. Okay, so guys, this is all about the articles in the today's newspaper. Beyond this, we don't have any other relevant article in the paper. Even when we talk about the editorial, there was one editorial on the masjids, status of masjids, which I read but was not relevant. And then there was one more article talking about the Supreme Court judgment with respect to the Delhi Metro. Fine, so Delhi Metro's dispute with respect to the airport line, that was being discussed. Again, not important for our UPSC CSE examination, because it is very important that when we talk about UPSC examination, you need to always filter out noise that's there. You always need to filter out the noise that's there. Fine. You need to understand that more important than what to be read, you also need to understand that what is at all not important. Fine. So that is all about it. And with this, we come to an end to this session. Now we'll be meeting on Monday. Till then, take care of yourselves, guys. And I hope that you are liking this particular initiative. Okay. So that is all. Now we'll be meeting on Monday. Till then, take care. Thank you so much.